What is it with Germany and having a big old foam on the top?
That's not just Germany, that's Belgium. And
that's a sign of quality.
Is it? Really?
It is.
In England, that'd be a sign of like, dude, can you fill that up?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Honestly, you see people in bars, literally, that much and they'll be going, can you fill that up? Like if they don't get that much more beer, they're going to have a bad night.
Prost.
They don't piss me off, I'm not very good at them, but they don't piss me off. So.
I quite enjoy them, but it depends how prepared the questions are.
Okay.
So like, where'd you get your band name from? Would you like most about living in London?
It's actually only it's only a blank sheet.
Same stuff, probably.
Yeah, I think it'd be exactly the same.
I mean, we grew up in a town that was kind of small and not much going on, so
yeah,
you know, like during school and stuff. But yeah, I think the lyrics would be mostly the same because, like you said, it's not really about London. You know, London's just a setting for the kind of a lot of the lyrics and, I guess, for want of a better word, the stories that the songs are about. So I think, I mean, there'd be some obvious changes to the lyrics, name places and things like that. But the general, yeah, generally the lyrics would be the same, unless kind of, I mean, obviously London, like living in London and what, you know, what you do there and what goes on would have an effect on your life. So the songs would be different in that respect, but I'm sort of mumbling now. I think I've answered that. The lyrics would be pretty similar.
if the experiences are the same, the lyrics would be the same.
Bam! Translation.
Different.
Translation.
Give me 9 coach in summer.
Yeah.
It worked. Like syllable wise, it's just East London, 9 coach, and it's all some of the same.
Exactly.
You maybe had to change 26 to 301. So
Yeah, I mean, it works. This all works.
Yeah.
It's just like a form that we filled in, and we just sort of insert your street name here, insert what bus you get there, and just... this is really good beer, man.
Yeah,
it's really good. I'm
Very
enjoying
good,
it.
thank you.
you're
It's
welcome.
not too sweet.
There is a difference, because, I mean, part of it would just be because of the size of a city and the number of people into it, like living there and into kind of punk and rock music and stuff. That obviously all has an effect on playing shows in those places. But I always find when we come to kind of towns and cities that I don't know about, smaller ones that you might say you would consider dead cities. I don't know the town well enough to state that. There's kind of an air of uncertainty, isn't there? You don't really know what the show's going to be like. Just can be quite exciting because a lot of the time it will just turn out to be really good. And off that you get a bit more excited, like, you know, I didn't know what to expect, but it actually was like real good.
Occasionally you'll just go to a city and your show is the only thing that's happening that day, that week, or whatever. So actually, just occasionally, like sometimes the shows turn out to be kind of like so much better than expected and so much more kind of like enjoyable and fun, and people really kind of get involved and stuff. Basically, the answer is you can never tell.
You can never really tell.
Yeah, you can do a show in like Neunkirchen and a show in Berlin on any night, and one might just suddenly be, you know, be like a real winner.
No, not for me, no.
No, like there's definitely a knock-on effect with touring a lot. You know, in terms of your at-home situation. But it depends what you're kind of geared for, and you know the people that you kind of are involved with back at home and how they kind of cope with it. So for some people it's really easy. They drop in and out of jobs really easy, and you've got friends that they can just sort of catch up with, and it's not difficult at all. Yeah, I mean, I guess like it really depends on those relationships you have at home and how easy they are. But there's a definite effect, you know. But I don't know, like touring is like kind of, if that's what you're into, you kind of just have to just do your best to like
I think
keep some sort of balance.
when you tour a lot, your life back at home, at least for me, I find kind of goes in stages where just your general kind of life situation at home just lines up well with touring, and you can be away a lot, and doesn't have a lot of big effect on your life, and then eventually that will start to shift and your life back at home will sort of go into a bit of a meltdown and just change entirely for a few months, and then you'll sort of pick that back up. So you kind of, if you imagine this is your touring life, kind of like a sine wave, and this is your life back home, also a sine wave, you know, they're not matching, but at times they'll sort of meet. I don't know if that's an odd mathematical way of putting it, but that's the way I view it. And yeah, sometimes they meet and sometimes they don't.
Well, I'm about to have a child, like in the next month. Could be in the next 2 weeks, could be in the next 6 weeks.
So
that's,
congrats.
thank you. So that's what I'm up to.
A little Bondy running around.
So yeah, that's like,
That'll probably be what I'm up to a lot of the time.
maybe. Just come around with like nappies and shit. Yeah. No, I mean that's definitely my focus for like the next while, you know, kind of
Until your child is an adult.
for the next 25 years. I'm going to be mostly just looking after a human being, trying to pass on all the wisdom that I've accrued. No, but I mean, you know, we're always writing, we're always kind of working on stuff, so the plan is to, I guess, record this year, and then try and do something
But now
early-ish next year. Obviously, like date-wise, we haven't really put much in because it's hard to tell with a baby on the way. You know, certain things might shift and change. But that's definitely the plan. We've got quite a few songs that I'm like real excited about. We just don't have enough of them. So, more songs, some put in.
I need to find a job and a house and a life outside touring, pretty much. I go through all of that as soon as possible when I get home, so give me a job, someone.
I actually sacked my job in just before this tour, a few weeks before, which timing wise it was awful because obviously because of the baby that's come in. But yeah, a good time to not have a job in London.
Oh well.
It's cool. There's always
Fair enough.
there's always like
There's ways of making money, is what you're saying.
Yeah. we're just gonna buy an RV. Just go out into the Dales and
The date was just outside London.
just
Jesus Christ.
it's quiet out there. Start cooking. Methamphetamine.
Heisenberg.
Yeah. I give you that. Doesn't usually look that happy.
I definitely wouldn't, because look at me. So I think I'm safe. And I'm gonna, on that note, I put myself out of the decision because it's definitely not gonna be me eating first. So I'll just eat whoever these guys choose.
That'd annoy me though, which would put you back on my list. Joe's laughing, but
I mean,
a drummer's
I know
not.
who's easiest to cook.
A drummer's not an easy thing to find in London. So if we ever do get back to London, drummer isn't an easy thing to find. We're all basically thinking PJ, aren't we?
Alright, we'll cook PJ.
Sorry, PJ.
Because he's not here.
He's not here.
He's not here, but I reckon ultimately, you know,
Yeah,
He is the best.
and he also eats the best out of all of us. You know, like doesn't eat a lot of shit.
He looks like he's tasting good.
Exactly. So he eats the best. So obviously his meat is probably going to taste a bit better. He's healthier.
I'm a vegetarian, so I wouldn't have any of it. Fuck that, I definitely eat it.